That's John Mellencamp and Michel Ndegeocello's Wild Nights, and that's what we're going to do in this lesson. Hopefully I pronounced her name correctly. It's kind of a hard one. So let's take a look at it. A lot of people have requested this song because she's such a great bass player and makes these iconic bass lines. So basically we've got, for the majority of the song, it's between the E major chord and a G major chord. An E minor chord and a G major chord. And we're using pentatonic forms in this for the riffs mostly. And we're just sort of going back and forth between those two chords. So in the intro is pretty straight ahead. We start on an E minor, and we're going to use the box pattern, the E minor pentatonic box pattern for the riff. So it's pretty straight ahead. We're up here on a G, G, E, D, B, D. Okay, and then when we go to the G, the riff is basically the same, minus one note. We just keep going down the major pentatonic scale to G. I mean, that's really the whole major pentatonic scale right there. But we only do that once, because on the second time around, you go back to the other pattern. So let me play through the intro again, and now that you know what I'm doing here. So really that different pattern on the G only happens the one time around after you've played the G chord first. Okay, so then when we get into the verse, comes some of the little trickier stuff. The beginning of the verse over the E chord, because it's the same two changes for the verse, is just like it was in the intro. Then when we play the G, you got to run way up here to the 12th fret to play a high G, and then you're going to do what's called a trill, which is when you go back and forth between two notes very quickly. And this is going to be between C sharp and a D here, the 11th and 12th fret on the D string. Hard to do. To keep it going for a long time there. I like to use my third finger. It's a little bit faster. Some of you might find your second finger to be faster. My third finger is a little bit smoother. And I'm doing a little pickup here, the open E back to the G. Once you get used to that big motion there, jumping all the way up to the 12th fret, this is a great tune to get used to that while you're playing. You're moving back and forth a lot. It should become a little bit easier to play. So you play through the G and the E two different times. It repeats. Then after the second time, we go to this little setup for the chorus. And it starts on a C. And you just hit a C for the whole bar for 4 beats. And then you go to a D on the next bar. And then she hits a natural harmonic on the 5th fret of the G string. Right there. This is a very strong harmonic. Should be very easy to hit. You got the 7th fret, you got the 5th fret, and the octave. Those are the strongest harmonics. So let me play the last round of the verse, and I'll play that section following right after. And really, when you hit the harmonic, the D that you're playing should go away. So you might have to mute it out over here. Okay. 2, 3, 4. Oops, sorry. 2, 3, 4. Not doing a very good job here. 2, 3, 4. There we go, like that. And then we do the riff on the G one last time. Or actually, I'm sorry. It's instead of coming down the pentatonic on that last riff, she goes down to the low E. And sort of give it a big last hit before the chorus comes in. So 2, 3, 4. And then we're ready for the chorus. And the chorus starts on the E minor. And again, we're going to still use some of these pentatonic riffs even in the chorus. We start out playing an open E, and then we're going to use this, where that pattern that we've been using in the verse, the same position, we're going to use some of those notes. But there's a little bit of maybe a slide on this going to the A. We're just messing around with these notes here in the chorus. So you see what I'm doing there. Then I'm going to the C, then pentatonic major, back to the E minor, like that. So the second time you come back to the E minor, you're going to do another riff, but it's in a much higher register here. It's the same notes as we're messing around with here, but it's an octave up. So, sorry. It's kind of, we're playing the same riff, playing it with the E, and then again with the C down low. Then we get to the D chord finally, and we have this little tricky rhythm here that I've got written out here for you. You need to think of this in threes. Like each note that we're playing is going to be some combination of 3 eighth notes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, except for the last one. That's the way to think of it when you're counting the rhythm. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. But there's some rhythms to play within that. That's just the duration of each note. Hopefully that helps you feel the rhythm a little bit better. So after that D chord, we come back to the E minor again and do the same thing. As the beginning, we go to the C. But then we go to the D chord again for just a second. And then we go back. We're playing sort of like the inverted third. What we did the first time on the D, we're doing it again, but an octave lower. And then we've got this little riff on the E minor again. Still, again, playing with all this pentatonic stuff. same E thing again. We go to a D. And then we have a giant, what I like to call a moose call, where you slide down the string. It just sounds like woof. To end the chorus. Now, I've broken that all down slow. Let's see if we can get through the chorus playing it more up to tempo so you can see how it feels all put together. The only thing, the difference at the end there, it uses an E to pick up. There's variations on that throughout the song, but that's the chorus put together. Let me do that one more time for you. Okay. There you have the two parts, and that is basically the whole song. There's a lot of back and forth in the arrangement, and a lot of jamming over the verse section of it, where she's just going, playing this. Like that and stuff. They play the chorus again. Listen to the YouTube video. We have the link here at the bottom of the lesson, so you can go play along with the record itself. And there you have it. Wild Nights.